Hey, Trump call, do your part and get your vaccine like your dear leader did in secret right before he left office. After all, how can COVID be a hoax? Donald Trump picked up coronavirus. He had world-class treatment for being president of the United States. He gets sick. He has to recover from it. We know COVID is real. Trump had the best care, and right before leaving office, he had his secret shot. So if the vaccine is so bad for you and alters your DNA, why did Donald Trump do that himself? That's the big question. Why did Trump take the vaccine? You believe Trump, right? Trump took the vaccine. Now, Trump is a disgrace that he refused to do it on national TV to get people believing that the shot is effective instead of doing it in secret, not in front of the cameras like he normally likes to be is in front of the cameras. And so people can gain the confidence to be able to take that shot. And that's what Trump should have done instead of fostering the hate, the division, and the misinformation that comes with ignoring the science of the coronavirus and the long-lasting effects of COVID-19. Okay? How can COVID be fake if you go out and blame the Chinese for that? Even if this were a bioweapon, you need to be a goddamn patriot and not let, China kill America. So get vaccinated, and this is what really benefits China if America does respond to COVID. So even if it were hypothetically a bioweapon bomb, then you need to do your patriotic part. And I don't see it with the mask wearing the right wing. These guys, their parents or grandparents were shipped off to fight World War II, to fight in Vietnam, and these lousy pussies, these people get all warped up about wearing a mask for 5-10 minutes inside of a grocery store. You think those people would have defeated the Nazis or fought in the Vietnam War? I don't think so. This is how far this country has fallen. And with Trump in there in leadership and saying the kind of embarrassingly shocking things, that's the thing, is that Trump, even without being demented, is the demented, twisted, bumbling, ignorant fool that he is. Joe Biden is only that way because he's truly becoming old and suffering dementia. And Biden is on and off meds, that when he is thinking clearly and on the meds actually makes sense that he's going to believe the experts and the science behind COVID-19. So you got to do your patriotic part in regards to the coronavirus. Simple as that. As simple as that. And no, you're pretty ignorant about how this is. When you actually believe the science and you know what's best to help preserve the damage of COVID-19, it's common sense, practicality, and solutions in the best way to minimize the amount of damage. And that is treating this like a pandemic still, when even when you're vaccinated, you need to be wearing your mask and protecting those who have not been vaccinated or fully vaccinated yet. 14% of the country is fully vaccinated. 14%. So most people in the country have not received all of their shots yet. And so until then, we have to wait until the summer before we can open everything up again. And Joe Biden will be real to the promise. It will be opening up the world during the summertime of this year. We will. By the 4th of July, we absolutely will open up the world again. But everybody has to take the vaccine. They cannot set us back, period. Do we want more people to suffer long-term health effects from COVID-19 because they got infected during a time without a vaccine? Is that what we really want? You really want to save healthcare? It's the way how you save healthcare. The spending right now is going to save in the long term if you do your part. That's what you have to do in regards to fighting COVID. And I see a fundamental moral breakdown in the country when most people do not want to get together to do what is the right thing to get through a pandemic. That America is becoming more diverse and more separated racially, and that mental illness is sky high in America, that the corporations gave them everything that they wanted, the different groups. Their differences what keeps them, being angry about the same kind of people, just not thinking about social, cultural, or racial, status and all that, and just saying that it's me and my people in this country up against the ultra wealthy and the billionaires that want they want no barriers at all. This is a straight up end game to the very, very, very top, and more and more and more for those people. And look, they get most of the PPE. These billionaires come out their false propaganda on Fox News that the virus is fake and all that, knowingly misleading America, helping Putin, helping Xi, helping these authoritarian countries when Americans' own ignorance is bringing it back. That's what those countries want. That's what we have to go away from the likes of Donald Trump, and actually start listening to the experts and doing our part to minimize the damage of COVID-19. If you say it's the China virus, and that's what you have to do against the China virus, clear as hell, is by following the fucking science if you want to do something about it. And that's the only way to get after your enraged version of it's China virus. You see? That's what you cannot use your bigotry on the Chinese people. When really it did originate from Wuhan and all that, which is true, but this is a virus originating in China. And but there's no reason to start hating on Asian people at all. That it ain't the way to do it. The Chinese government purposely went after those that tried to reveal to the rest of the world what was happening. China did not want the news to come out that it showed any signs of weakness. Like a real authoritarian nation would do it, never display any weakness to the outside world, keeping it enclosed. And so the authoritarian nature of the Chinese Communist Party remains true, even though they're willing to accept the openness of the world. But this is what we have to do if you want to stay number one. Using knowledge, become the very best, seek to be the very best of the world in the knowledge-seeking fields of science. And most people want to be the influencer, next model, whatever. That's sort of what we have become as an American society compared to many other countries in the world, and even our Scandinavian friends that have seceded from that having a crazy, sick, massive pop culture world. I don't know. It helps the billionaires keep the people down, I suppose. That's a real control mechanism. But yes, gotta continue to do your part in COVID-19, because the very end is clear. If we want to get back to surpassing China in GDP growth, then that's how you have to do it, is to get back to reforming your economy right now, today. And we need a progressive green energy coalition to be able to bring high-paying jobs to America and away from China. That is the view that we need to take, that AOC and other Democrats need to try to do if they truly want to regain the trust of the people. If they want to do something different versus, Republican scare tactics, with culture and culture wars and all that, and other racial groups and all that, and you just want to keep it based on what you can do to make your country better versus the same old billionaire tax cuts. And you gotta try to make a better, bigger, progressive coalition in the Democratic Party, or else you will just let the corporates run rampant in both parties. So it's about following the lead of AOC and running for office if you really want to go about this. But come on, let's end the COVID. If you want what is best in your country, regardless of who's president, you want to do your part so we can end COVID as soon as is possible. I mean, I'm sick and tired of the mask around. I want to be done with this, but I know I can't stop because I know that I can get someone else sick out there if I'm not doing a social distancing. I know that not everyone is vaccinated. It's just simple ignorance that's killing American society, if you ask me. Trump is sort of there to purposely make us this stupid or whatnot, which is what the elite wanted from Trump. That is what they wanted from Trump. They purposely gave us the misinformation. You know what? DNC gave us Trump too, when billionaires get whatever they want when they don't have someone like Bernie battling the government, and instead you get this Clinton let's have Trump fuck the country up, and let's write off of Trump's failures. Like, that's why no wonder why DNC was okay with having Trump win, because he was going to really fuck up the country and the GOP. That's how Democrats didn't care about preventing a fascist authoritarian like Trump from getting the power. But see, these billionaires that run the party, they are purposely making you misinformed. They do not want you to vote. They suck your will when they make Democrats do the same thing as Republicans. I mean, we have one party that completely ignores science, and it's not like we're 3/4, 3/5 row, mostly trusting the science. It's like much the Republican Party has gone to such a, most people will respect social distancing and all that, but if we want to prevent the crash of America, then you quit being this purposely, willingly, proudly, ignorantly stupid. And pridefully, ignorantly stupid, and I don't care. We just want to ignore and don't give a fuck about our surroundings and all that. And common decency is how people look at countries across the world. And as America, I think they failed to do that. And we need to set ourselves straight, because certainly, I can't believe the DNC gave us a guy who can't even speak to the press conference, because he's clearly ill at this stage of his life. He's ill. And he's president, and he's very ill. And Joe Biden, this guy really is off his meds a lot of times, and he forgets things very easily nowadays. But so far, he's doing a much better job than Trump. You can admit that at least we have a police reform bill, hopefully, national police oversight committee in America, federally. I think we need. If that's the idea of Joe Biden, I think getting most of the tax cuts to the bottom 65% versus the top 20%, what Trump did with the Republican Party, is a great thing. Repealing the environmental regulation rollbacks and the financial regulation rollbacks under Trump is where Biden is next. All of that stuff, you see a lot of stuff that piles up right now. Not having private prisons anymore, not contracting more prisons for private prisons. Joe Biden said he was against, and hopefully he has some action here. We need that done. What I don't like is he outed some White House members, advisors, who had weed on the record. So, like, Joe Biden won't legalize weed under his presidency. Kamala is going to give us legal weed. And Joe Biden will actually do that. I think if Joe Biden doesn't actually try to go out and pass a kind of legislation, this guy's clearly losing it. He'll totally be outed as a KKKer if he's going to deny that. If he's going to show who his true allegiance is to Donald Trump, old the way it was in the past kind of club that tries to rule America, including Bill Clinton and maybe these other people like Bush and Reagan. So do your part, because made in China, don't want to go back here, give China all the wealth, give China all the favorable competitive advantages. You have to prevent this kind of stuff. This is what we have to do with this Green New Deal vision. This is what America needs. And everybody needs to support it, but I don't feel like the Republican Party is willing to do what's best for America. And if we can just agree on the basic stuff, like, having renewable energy, then we can make things so much better in terms of creating our own prosperity. We don't need to go down the further path of destruction when you're still making stuff out of the country and all of that. It's time to put an end to that.